Hello, weirdos. It's Riot. It's just me, the weird guy sitting here in front of my computer, alone in my place, sitting in someone's basement of a house that I live in and talking nonsense. It is Halloween time. It's October. It's the best time of the year. It's kind of like my Christmas because it's the most important time of the year for me. I get the most excited about it. And also like Christmas, I also get kind of bummed out around it because I feel like I'm not doing enough or I'm not doing things right or it's not going as planned, especially this year. Excuse me as I just scratch my nose for a bit and then just wipe it on the screen. Diseases. Um, and no one's here. I'll wash my hands later. uh, Especially the last 2 years because of the pandemic that, Halloween was nothing last year. Halloween this year is going to be this weird half-assed Halloween. So we're going to do it, but we're all going to be kind of worried about it. We're all going to be kind of tiptoeing around it, which is almost more stressful than just not doing it. Last year we had a real fun time just going online and doing kind of a Halloween special online. But everyone wants to do their thing too. So there's going to be so many people doing something. Everyone wants to have their own Halloween party, and I get that. I totally do. Super excited about 2 weeks ago when I got to put on a luchador mask and do some wrestling in the gravel and during a screening of an outdoor film screening of Santos and Blue Demon contra los monstros. Vampires in there. You got Wolfman. You got a big Cyclops gargoyle. Fun, stupid flick. And started off with me fighting another luchador and getting thrown around into all the chairs in the front row of the outdoor on a gravel screening of it. So got caught up a bit. Maybe I talked about that last week. I don't know. But those same guys are going to be doing something on Devil's Night in Chinatown. So I'll hopefully make an appearance in that. I didn't do this on Wednesday like I normally promised that I would because I won tickets to go to a early premiere of Halloween Kills. And I posted my review. It's what you all expected, that it was, it's okay. I don't hate it. It's worth watching. If you're like a Completus fan, you're going to want to see it, which I am. So I wanted to see it. Maybe I'm just old and jaded. It's too hip. It was really had this creepy underlining message, like as if it was trying to tell you that America has been weakened by being afraid of the pandemic. And because of our fear, we're not true, good, all-hearted, red-blooded Americans. Maybe that's an ironic twist, and it sort of means it the other way, that, because let me tell you, without ruining part of the film, by not staying in your house and being afraid, things got way fucking worse. There's these heroes in there who are supposed to be likable people. In horror films, you get a whole bunch of shitheads, so you don't feel so bad that they get killed. None of these people are shitheads, but you also don't feel bad that they get killed because they're supposed to kind of be good people. But I don't like any of them. I'm really tired of Laurie Strode. I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but she's making me not like her because they put her in these and she does all these promos about how this is real filmmaking, this isn't silly superhero special effects. And who cares? It's fucking not real, Jamie, and therefore should be crazy, should be wild. When I am stuck in a world that sucks so much these days, I should be able to escape and be as silly and weird as possible. I find it weird that, and again, that's just me. So I mean, to each their own. So I think some people will love it, and because it's well made, it's super fucking brutal. It is one big slaughter because it alludes that he didn't kill a lot of people in the last movie. He killed a good chunk of people, and brutally. And that when it first started, he didn't kill a whole lot of people either, because in this logic, only the first Halloween takes place. But now we've got this slaughter that happens. It's kind of like Clone Wars. And this is a weird analogy. Clone Wars and Two Towers, how they were like these big battles that happened in between a trilogy that was already preset. Because so is this. It's going to come into place and end at Halloween Ends. There's some interesting twists that are added into it. There's this one, and this is a spoiler a bit, there's this one gay couple that's in the film, and they are so entertaining and so original and refreshing. Appearance by Mike McDonald, after just recently talking about him being in a horror film when he was in like 1990, he was in The Unborn 2, a really fun piece of shit movie. But he's now in Halloween Kills. Interesting. The look what I can do guy from Mad TV. And he's really interesting, but they just sort of played them as a weird, just gay stereotype joke, which is too bad because they're much more endearing and likable and interesting than the sort of heroes in this. These people you're actually supposed to care for. As I'm hiccuping away. Anyway, that's my review, my rant of that. It was super weird being in the theater, especially because it won prizes. So there's a lot of people in there. I felt fucking weird. Luckily, I got a seat kind of hidden away and just, was nowhere near anyone breathing on me. uh, but because I'm a paranoid, crazy person who hides away because he has fear of the pandemic. I make America bad. Yes, I know you see my post that I'm not in a good place right now, that my brain is fucked. It's the season. But it's also whenever I start to make one of my shitty homemade films. And I call them shitty homemade films. I admit they're shitty because I don't put any money to it. I am broke. I haven't worked in years. And I put whatever change I have into it. I haven't been able to get anyone to buy stuff to do funding this month. Well, 3 people almost every month that they know who they are. And they're the reasons I do my screening events for free because they make that possible. So you 3, thanks so much. And for the 11 people on my Patreon, thank you guys so much as well for that. You're going to see all the different clips of the film Amityville Outhouse as it gets made. I'll put photos and little tiny clips out on like Instagram or Facebook and ridethemovies.com, but there'll always be a little bit bigger a clip for the Patreon people. Including tonight, I'm going to have Peter and we're going to watch some cartoons that involve with Halloween. Because I find Halloween, the season should be sort of childish, childlike, where it's about trick-or-treating and spells and being spooky, but not being hideous and terrible and bloody. I mean, I love that shit too, but Halloween is sort of mystical and it's about dressing up and being silly. Yeah, some people ruin it by, making everything into sexy hot dog and nurse ninja. I don't know, but it's to each their own. It's about being weird, being different, and fantasy. To me, darkness is fantasy, so that just seems normal to me. Maybe to some people they don't get that either, and I get it. Just like my films, some people don't get it. It's a joke that it's shit. It's a joke that it's bad because I can't possibly do it any more than that. I never will, so I don't bother. Yes, I do not take criticism well. I admit that because I never got into it for that. I didn't ever expect anyone to see my films other than a couple of people who came to my website. So if you came to my website, you were going to get it. You knew what you were getting into. If you were coming to my events and you knew it because you were getting what I was getting into. Then I gave away one of my films for a label to release. I didn't make any money for it. It was for charity. And then people started to review it. And I got weird. I have a friend who opened up a label and he got one of our early stuff, which he was involved in, released, Golden Ninja Video. Go to them, go check out them. They got some great releases this month, but can never say bad things about them. But some of those films got reviewed too. People, people who do review blogs, they just get a certain thing. Those even who like the video violence, really early Polonium Brothers shit, like the shit, even Chris Seaver stuff that I rip off blatantly, they like certain elements from it, but then they want to critique even some of them who make films like this, and some of them, and they're totally right. There's nothing wrong with their critiques, but who the fuck cares? I want to know, and it's just upsetting to hear it. Let me tell you why you're not funny. The reason you're not funny is because you need to have timing. Have you heard that to be good and funny it needs timing? No fucking shit, buddy. And the thing is, you can't strike back to that, because if I told him to fuck off, I'd be considered a psycho. If I got really emotional about it, I'd be considered a psycho. You can't defend yourself. So yes, there's been weird threats from weird people. I removed their Facebook comments and stuff like that, who are like, you ruin film. Do I? The same people who I've seen the Facebook accounts too, the same people who've done the same shit to House Shark and do Clownado and stuff like that. I'm like, really? Do we? Okay, that's just funny. I just remove that or block whoever I want, or make a really funny comment back on it. But it's when right now I'm not making people laugh. My close friends kind of disappeared. My family, they do this that weird little shit with the like, oh, that's nice that you made that. It's nice that you're doing things. So when are you going to do something for real? Anyone who's in that genre knows that. Me even more, because the fact that I wasn't really looking for praise. If you just said it was shit, I don't like it. fine. But this whole like feigning to be nice because you sort of like me, but you don't. I mean, I'm a scarred individual who my immediate family do not want to watch any of that, and they just think it's dumb. So that they just smile and nod and immediately change the subject. So you know, but so Amityville Madhouse may be my last one. I say this at the beginning of every time I start with these films, and I will say it by the time again when it's out and get another terrible review. I know this, but it's affecting me, my health, and it's affecting my finances because again I give everything to charity, and I just want other people to do better. I want other people to have fun. That's why I want people to have stuff to do. I like to help people with them, but it's affecting me. So I don't know. Everyone be like, "Fuck the haters," just because someone says something bad doesn't mean you have to do it. If you like it, do it. I like, setting things on fire. That doesn't mean I should do it. And it's not because of the haters. There's a lot more to that. And I know some of the people involved are kind of embarrassed about them too. And I feel really fucking bad about that. Best friends, I don't see it all anymore because of that. This is the most depressing video I've ever done. I've just made this into an emo blog. Fuck me. Anyway, Amityville Outhouse will happen. Hopefully, I'll have it done by Christmas. There's a certain film distributor who messaged me in the middle of last night and wasn't doing any messaging or preaching, just asked a technical question and made a statement. And by doing that was like the most purest thing anyone has done for me in the last little while. I'm not going to name names because I don't think I'm going to make anything of it. Because, but regardless, they know who they are, and thank them. I don't think they watch these videos. The 20 of you who do are the ones who've supported me for a long time, and you're all fucking amazing, beautiful, sexy people. Stay awesome and stay weird. Hopefully before the year's over, you'll get Amityville Outhouse, where I'm in it way too much. There's too many people. My concept is kind of like doing a Carry On film or a Monty Python. We're just being a silly troop of friends doing weird shit. None of us can act. None of us are professional anyway. None of us have skills in this shit. We're just doing it to be funny and to be a little comedy group. Like I said, originally was just going to be online, but some people like this trash to have complimentary copies at home. So those other groups that print them have to spend some money on it. I don't, because I feel guilty. But I hope you guys will enjoy it. And when I do like the $1 downloads for it, I hope you guys will do that because nobody did with my last two films. It's just fucking sad. Oh, okay, like 5 of you guys did, and I'm sure you're watching it right now, so you guys know. I gotta stop being so bummer and sad. This is the most emo fucking thing I've ever done. Ugh. I gotta get it out of my system so I can have some real fucking Halloween. So we can have some fun shit, bitches. Justin and I went out into the woods for a day to film some stuff. Made a little 30-second vignette for his YouTube page, the Pineapple Skeleton. And I posted that on our Facebook page and on Ride of the Movies. And then we filmed a lot of the wraparounds. That's just me playing multiple characters for Amityville Horror. Amityville Horror. I guess I'm saying that. That's the real movie, Amityville Outhouse. Everybody's making Amityville films these days. That Sean, whatever his name is, Cool Duder, he's got a Amityville Karen and an Amityville Bigfoot coming out. And I mean, there's millions. Go through any free streaming site. There's a million of them, which is why it's funny and why I wanted to do that. To me, anyway. I laughed like crazy while editing this stuff. We've only filmed like, I don't know, a course of like 6 hours in total, like 3 different days that we filmed for like maybe 2 hours each day, and I've got a good chunk of it done. It's gonna be a little bit of a break so I can get people together to do the other stuff, but it's gonna be fun because it's an anthology, so there's like 4 mini stories and then a wraparound of me meeting a crazy guy who's trying to stop me from using a haunted outhouse. Well, really, I just want to take a shit. And when he stops me from taking a shit, he has to tell me these stories to stall till I will hopefully leave and just go take a shit in the woods as opposed to in the outhouse. Yeah, that's the fucking movie. Now you know. You're gonna love the shorts though. One of the shorts, I'm gonna spoil this, is called Gabagool, and it was a joke out of being how The Sopranos called Capicola Gabagool. And then fucking Big Pussy just posted a comedy video online where he's a gabagool and his ghost is teaching how to cook. So the joke is already done. God damn it. Still gonna do it though, because I gotta get that joke out of my head. Anyway, I love you all. You're all wonderful people. In the next future video, we'll play some new clips. I am going to add on here, though, when Peter came over, and well, when we zoomed with Peter, I never get to see Peter anymore. He lives in Kingston. I'm not doing much traveling yet. I will soon. Fucking goddamn, I will soon. But here's a clip of us watching some cartoons. If you're on Patreon, you can see a long part of me making him watch some Halloween kid shows. I've made him watch some really gross shit and then some really bad shit. So I figured this would be a bit lighter, but still spoopy for the season. But here's a clip of it, of us watching a classic fucking 80s cartoon.
Oh, hi, Mr. H. What have you been downloading for the last 10 minutes? This has got to be pretty special if you got to, download something like.
Well, I thought I had downloaded, then I realized I hadn't pressed accept until just then. So, but it's downloaded. It was fast. Originally, well, it still am to an extent. I wanted to bring you and a couple other people throughout this week to watch silly, spooky things with me. Maybe Halloween themed, maybe not necessarily, but sort of like childhood adventure type of thing. We're gonna heavily flash back to the 80s and the 70s and probably still the 90s because I'd still be young enough for that to matter to me. So I'm gonna play some Halloween specials, some things that involve monsters, some things that have a kind of spooky element to it. Because for Halloween, for me who loves horror, I can love horror all year round. I can love the gore and the nastiness all the time. But dressing up and being creepy and hiding in the dark and spells and witchcraft and fables and mystery and that and the trick-or-treating element is what Halloween's really about. So I have some 80s things to play for you. One thing predominantly English, which I don't know if I've ever showed you before, but I know I've talked to you about it and I've told you about it. It's a show called Nightmare,
Which you almost got to be on, but then you
had
to come to North America.
I had to move to Canada and my parents had to run away and they had to replace me on the show. Yeah, that was my dream. And then the month before we were supposed to go on, I left. The show also then changed format into some sort of a weird sci-fi show. Nightmare was a kids game show where one kid was wearing a helmet and couldn't see and walked into a green screen room. And then his three friends would guide him around these green screen rooms as they saw what was superimposed in this fantasy world. And they basically played Dungeons and Dragons with them. We're going to watch an episode of that. It's like 20 minutes because it had commercials. Before that, though, we're going to heavily hit up true North American 80s stuff. You can hear me okay, right? My headphones are being a little weird. You can hear me though? Okay, good.
Just perfectly.
Awesome. So, but we're going to super hit up the 80s. And I'm just going to play a clip in the intro to a show that was perhaps the most monster-inspiring 80s show for me. It didn't last very long. Not a whole lot of people know about it. They know of it because it's kind of like, I don't know, internet infamous. But I don't know many people who saw it. The toys were some of the best fucking toys ever. And I think I only had one of like the heroes. I wish I had some of the amazingly cool toys that came with this show. But let's play the intro and play like the first 3 minutes. The first 3 minutes of the show, you're going to end up seeing basically Cthulhu. You're going to see an army of zombies, and you're going to see Satan himself basically in like the first 3 minutes of this cartoon. That was a major released Hasbro produced cartoon.
Hasbro in humanoids?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did you always had a fair amount of toys, I remember. Did you have any Inhumanoid action figures or anything?
My mother would not buy any of the Inhumanoids for me. She was too grossed out by them. So it was this big deal when I went to Toronto, September 1986. I went to this A Time for Children expo down, I think, at the exhibition grounds. And it was all these channels and all these toy companies exhibiting their wares, but for kids. And so Hasbro was exhibiting Inhumanoids figures. And I just thought it It was so cool to see them up close.
I would have lost my shit because like the three main bad guys, the toys were like, I mean, maybe not, I don't know, pretty close, but at least if you were a child, they were the whole size of your torso. And they Moltar is basically the devil. He's this big red demon guy. Tendril is basically Cthulhu. He's this even bigger green sort of octopus vine thing. And then Decompose, voiced by the guy who voiced Cobra Commander and Starscream, who could open up his chest. He was like a skeleton dinosaur, and you could put the other soldiers in his chest, and you would hold them in there. Amazing. I never had any of those guys. There's a toy store in town that had a Decompose, still in its box, but they wanted like $200 for the fucking thing. So I did have like one or two of the Earth Corps, the heroes that fought them. I think I probably got them later in life. They probably were like from some Valley Village or something, because I don't remember ever having a box for it. They were really oddly shaped in size because they're supposed to be in like big Iron Man suits, so they had little heads and big bodies. It's weird. I didn't like them. Not as cool as the monsters, but then again, the heroes never are. So here's the opening credits. Here's just a couple of minutes of it. Not to share sound. The evil that lies within. Where nightmares are the best part of my day.
Inhumanoids.
They just have a monster voice burping. Written by Flint Dilley.
We have reported a slight tremor, comrades. Please investigate.
These Russian accents.
We felt a slight tremor here, comrade.
It was probably just me shivering.
It always kind of felt like it was in the same universe as G.I. Joe.
We have observed an underwater object.
Outside of
Shall we
the
identify or launch
G.I. Joe
depth
crossover.
charge? Launch the depth charge, of course.
Sorry, say that again.
How would you feel about a G.I. Joe and Humanoids crossover?
I mean, if nothing else, give me a comic book of that. I'm sure there's no world to like do anything else with that, but at least give me a comic book. I mean, at least somehow bring the Inhumanoids back. I don't care what does it, but everything else has come back. The Inhumanoids hasn't, because I think they realize it's kind of scary. And we're about to find out in just a second, because we're about to find out what Decompose does to people. This is very Kaiju in general. Pokes you. That was a weird power.
Our enemies are everywhere. Resist alien imperialism, comrades. Now you will tell me where you keep your primal energy. I will divulge no secrets. Tell me. You have told me all I need to know. Seize the primal energy. Seize it, and eternal dominance shall be ours.
That's all you got to say right there. Seize the primal energy, in eternal dominance shall be ours.
That's your next t-shirt.
Right? Yeah, right. Yeah. Thanks again for watching, guys. Thanks for listening to my bullshit. And yeah. Hey, download that fucking 69 cents mixtape. It's for free if you're on Patreon. But for us, if it's only 69 cents, 69, dude, 69 cents Canadian. So that's like virtually nothing for Americans, and English and wherever you guys are. It's available on our Facebook. It's available on writeofthemovies.com. you'll see the Halloween mixtape. It's only like 45 minutes, but it also links you to last year's ones, the 3 I made last year, and they're all for free too. So it's free now. 69 cents gets you the new one. Also gets your name in the credits of Amityville Horror if you do it before Halloween. So why not? Every donation is like 33 cents American towards the film. So if I get 10 of them, I get $1. No, wait, that's not how math works. Well, I don't get a lot, but it's the thought that counts. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.